Want to know why some nurses and doctors successfully transition to digital health while others fail? After coaching tons of people, I discovered this surprising pattern. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share something that could completely transform your career path in healthcare. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel trapped in your current clinical role? Working nights, weekends, and holidays, missing family events, feeling like you're just a cog in a broken system? If so, you're not alone. The good news is that there's a way out that doesn't mean abandoning healthcare altogether. It's called digital health, and it might be the career change you've been looking for. But here's the thing, not everyone who tries to make this transition succeeds. After coaching tons of clinicians through this process, I've identified exactly what separates those who make it from those who don't. The biggest mistake clinicians make when trying to break into digital health? It's not lack of technical skills, it's undervaluing their clinical experience. Let me explain. Most nurses and doctors approach digital health thinking they need to become tech experts overnight. They focus all their energy learning coding or data science, believing that's the gap they need to fill. But here's the reality that nobody's talking about. Technical skills are relatively easy to learn. What's nearly impossible to teach quickly? Clinical knowledge, the very thing you have in abundance. Digital health companies aren't looking for more programmers. AI is filling that gap increasingly. They're desperate for people who understand how healthcare actually works on the ground. Medical terminology and clinical workflows, regulatory requirements like HIPAA, the real needs of patients and providers. As a clinician, you already have this knowledge. It's your superpower in the digital health space. The most successful transitions happen when you position your clinical expertise as your unique value proposition, while developing just enough technical literacy to communicate effectively. Let me share a quick story about a nurse who was burning out after 5 years at the bedside. He initially thought he needed to become a full stack developer to escape. He spent 2 years struggling through a computer science degree, getting increasingly frustrated. That was me. I graduated after the dot-com bubble, and instead of trying to compete with other computer science graduates, I highlighted my extensive knowledge of healthcare workflows and my experience with medical systems. Within 2 months, I landed a role as a clinical analyst at a health tech company, making 30% more than my nursing salary, working regular business hours, and still using my clinical expertise every day. So, what exactly should you focus on to make this transition successfully? First, reframe your clinical experience. That time you improved a triage process, that's process optimization. How you explain complex conditions to patients, that's UI development. Second, develop a target and technical literacy. You don't need to become a programmer, you just need to understand enough about technology to collaborate effectively. Focus on learning basic data analysis concepts, digital health terminology, how software development works at a high level, project management fundamentals. Third, identify the right roles. Most clinicians I work with find success in positions like clinical analyst, program manager, project manager, implementation specialist, training coordinators, testing leads. These roles value your clinical expertise while being accessible without extensive technical training. Fourth, build your story. Digital health employers need to understand how your clinical background makes you perfect for their company. Craft a compelling narrative that connects your past experience to their future needs. Let me be clear about something. The transition isn't about abandoning patient care. It's about scaling your impact. In digital health, you're still helping patients, just thousands or even millions at once, rather than one at a time. The clinicians who struggle with this transition are often those who can't see how valuable their expertise truly is. I see it again and again. The nurse who thinks her years of bedside experience aren't relevant. The physician who discounts his clinical knowledge because he can't code. The therapist who doesn't recognize how valuable her understanding of patient needs truly is. Here's the truth. You've spent years developing expertise that tech companies desperately need. Your understanding of healthcare flows, clinical terminology, and patient needs is actually your unfair advantage in digital health. And the benefits of making this transition successfully, they're life-changing. Control over your schedule, no more nights, no more weekends, no more holidays. better work-life balance and reduced burnout, competitive compensation, often higher than clinical roles, continued professional growth and development, the ability to impact healthcare at scale. So if you're feeling stuck at the bedside, remember this: your clinical expertise isn't what's holding you back. It's actually your golden ticket to a fulfilling career in digital health. Remember that surprising pattern I mentioned at the beginning? Here it is. The clinicians who succeed in digital health aren't the ones with the most technical skills. They're the ones who understand how to leverage their clinical expertise while developing just enough technical literacy. Stop competing on technical skills alone. Your clinical knowledge is what makes you invaluable to digital health. It's what tech companies are desperately searching for and willing to pay top dollar to acquire. You've spent years building healthcare expertise. Now it's time to put it to work in a way that gives you control over your life again. If you're ready to make this transition but aren't sure where to start, I've created a free guide that walks you through the jobs most successful clients have gotten. Click the link in the description to download it now. And if you found this helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future content about growing your digital health career. Drop a comment below with your biggest question about transitioning to digital health, and I'll personally respond. Remember, your clinical expertise isn't a limitation, it's your superpower. Now go put it to work in digital health.